Hi there. I hope everyone is doing well today. We're going to do a really chill get ready with me using some products that are new to the market, new to me. Most of these I've already tried once or twice before, so today I'll be trying them for the first time on camera. So I figured I'd go ahead and get the boring things out of the way. I already have my primer. This is the Milk Hydro Grip on my face on top of my skincare, the Too Faced Shadow Insurance Eye Primer, and for my under eye corrector I used the e.l.f. and I already have my eyebrows done. So if you want to get ready with me, maybe learn a little bit about me, then keep watching. In one of my recent videos, I compared the Chanel Le Beige's Fresh Water Tint to the new CoverGirl foundation. I've continued to try both of these. Today, I am going to use this again as a primer on my skin, and I've really been enjoying this. It feels very refreshing. It has these little, everybody calls them balls, but they're little hydra beads, I think is the more correct way to describe them. And so you have to kind of break these little beads up, these little micro beads. I use an Anissa facial brush, a stippling brush like this, and just stipple this mainly in the center of the face, moving out. That's what the Chanel looks like applied. So this does give a light coverage. It kind of evens out the skin a little bit. It could be used on a no makeup day with just maybe some concealer, some mascara, some blush, lip gloss, just a quick little look. But I haven't used it as a primer yet, so I thought today would be a good day to use it as primer. By the way, I also forgot to mention that I'm trying the new Sigma lip balm on today. I do have that on. So the foundation that I've been trying is the About Face, the Performer foundation. I have this in the shade 02 Cool. And so I've tried this 2 or 3 times already. This shade is perfect for me. If you're a skin match to me, I have light to medium skin with a cool undertone. So you use this huge doe foot to get the product out. I think that it's kind of nice because you don't really get too much out doing it this way. So I kind of paint it right on my face, and I'm going to use my Anissa foundation brush today, and then I just stipple this right in. I've so thoroughly enjoyed this foundation, and I'm glad that I got it. It's only $22. It is a medium coverage foundation. It blends right into the skin. I've worn this for a couple of really long days, and it held up really, really nicely. It didn't break apart. It didn't look cakey. And it is applying really, really nicely over the Milk Hydro Grip and the Chanel Le Beige's water tint. There. I changed my background, my lighting, everything. I was using natural light, but the setup just wasn't working well. So I wanted you guys to be able to get a better view of the makeup that I'm applying. So let me know what you think about this particular lighting. So that's the About Face, the Performer foundation. You can get this at Ulta right now. I've also been trying the MERCIER Real Flawless Concealer. The first time I tried this, it was really, really patchy and didn't go very well, but I've used it since then with different correctors and different skincare, and it has looked a lot better. So I want to continue using it because I know Laura Mercier does a great job with her complexion products. So I just don't want to just give up on it just because I didn't have a good experience the first time. Let me see if I can use this mirror without blocking your view. I've really been focusing my concealer right here because I have a lot of darkness. I have a very pronounced, whatever you call that little thing, your inner eyelid margin. And it kind of forms a shadow in there. So I've been putting my concealer in there. Also, another thing that I've been doing, I'm not doing it today because I'm filming, I have been letting my concealer sit while I do some other steps in my makeup routine. I feel like my concealer has worked a lot better. I've gotten more coverage doing it that way. Heather Austin is the one that kind of gave me that idea, so I'm really enjoying that so far. The new Milani, this is the Cheek Kiss bronzer. It's a cream bronzer. I have the shade Hey Honey, which is what most people are getting. It seems to be a very universal shade. So I'm going to use a Zoeva brush, and I'm going to apply this here in the hollow of my cheek. This blends really easily. It's not overly pigmented. It's also not overly warm for those of us with cooler skin tones. I have an itch right here. Might as well use the brush to get it. So I apply this across my forehead, my temples, and here in the hollows of my cheeks. I kind of dab some on the side walls of my nose for a very, very mild nose contour. And then along the jawline just with some extra product. I don't get any more product. And then under my chin. So I've really been enjoying the Milani Cheek Kiss bronzer in Hey Honey. I got a gift set back in December, and one of them had these milk cream blushes. This writing is so small, but it looked like this color is Rally. It's a really pretty cooler tone pink shade. You just rotate that and it comes up. And so I've used one of the other shades, but I have two more that I haven't tried yet. So I thought today I would try this shade in my video. So sometimes even kind of cooler tone blushes, they turn a little warm on me. So far, this one seems to look pretty cool. These are not really emollient, which I like, but they're still very easy to blend out. They give a soft wash of color to the cheeks. I always go in after I powder with a powder blush, so I don't need a lot of impact during this part. And then I just sweep a little bit over my nose as well. Those have blended very, very well. I always take what's left and kind of go up on my temples. Scratch the itch on my nose again. Why is it that whenever I get on camera, I either sweat or I start getting little itches here and there? It's really funny. So there's that. So now we powder, and the Huda Beauty loose powder, I have this in the shade Cupcake. I'm going to use this under my eyes, and this has a little net in it. So I take my Beauty Blender puff, go right into it, then I work it on my hand and lightly powder all through the T-zone. And You can see I'm not using near as much as a lot of people do. Because I have mature skin, I can't use really thick layers of powder. It just settles into my wrinkles, so we don't want that. So for my pressed powder, I'm going to use the other Huda Beauty Easy Bake. And this one is in the shade Cherry Blossom Bake. I'm going to get a fluffy BK Beauty brush. I think I want the 103 brush. Swirl this around and kind of get the rest of my face. This has a nice cool undertone. It's not too light. And for the purposes that I use it for, I really like it. Just a touch of powder, not too much. Next, we're going to use the Flower Beauty Heat Wave Bronzer. Mine is in the shade Sunrise L1. I love this. It is a cool tone bronzer. I just take a big fluffy brush, the same brush I just used my powder for, and just kind of swirl this on my cheeks, my forehead, and my temples. Kind of sets that brown bronzer down, reinforces it, and looks really pretty. Has just a little bit of a glow to it, which I think is gorgeous. And for blush, I'm actually going to use this blushing highlighter from Bare Minerals. Mine is in the shade Mauve Glow. This is officially called the highlighting blush. And I'm going to use a little bit smaller of a brush. I want to be a little more specific with this application. So it is a highlighting blush, so it's both of them in one. Look at that beautiful color. I just love this. I also have the bronzer, so you can use that as a bronzer and blush in one on your cheeks. I hope you can see how pretty that is. I'm interested to see this, look at this video back and see how my lighting is. I've been working so hard trying to kind of regroup and reset everything here to make it look a little bit more professional. We just do a little at a time as we're able to. So we don't have to do a highlighter. We have highlighter and blush. Very pretty. I had never used the Tarte Maracuja lip products. So in December, there was a little packet, a little gift set. So I got the lip liner and the Tarte Maracuja gloss in the shade Honeysuckle. So let's apply this. This I've used before, and this is a super pigmented. I was surprised at how much color I got. Trying not to make funny faces while I'm putting my lip products on. So lots and lots of pigment with the lip liner. Goes on creamy, not super long lasting. And of course these, you click them up, it looks super dark. So I wondered what the hype was all about, and now I know. Next, to tightline, I'm going to use my Urban Decay 24/7 eyeliner. This is in the shade Whiskey. And I prefer to use this for tightlining because it stays. And I just really want to show you how much of a difference it makes when you do tightline. Particularly if you're fair like me. Look at that difference. So I've been doing this before my eye looks because it just makes such a big difference, in my opinion. I got the 2 new VISEART palettes. The one we're going to use today is Violet Vespertine. And this is what it looks like. These rosy brown colors, I've said it before, they make me go pitter patter, my little heart. I love these colors. And the other new palette that I got is Cashmere Charmeuse. I always want to say Chartreuse. I stopped myself this time. And this is another cool tone dream. I'll use this next time. I have the other 2 palettes also from VISEART that these are kind of little partners to. I've already used those and I really like them. So today we're going to use Violet Vespertine and do a nice cool tone look. So I'm going to get a large Rephr brush. Obviously I need to clean these, and we're going to go into this delicious shade right here. Love this shade. They don't have colors, you know, they don't have shade names. So I'm barely touching right now. And then once I kind of get some product laid down, I go in just a little bit firmer. So you can see this is just a little bit darker than my skin on my upper eyelid. Just getting this look started. So I just wanted to just tell you guys a little bit about me. I haven't really shared too much. I'm usually just talking about the makeup, but I'm 53 years old and I live in Central Florida. I'm married. I've been married to my husband Tim for over 29 years now. So we live in a retirement community here. My husband's a little bit older than I am, and it's an over 55 community, and we have great neighbors and good friends, and we have just a really nice life. Back in 2014, my husband got what I thought was the flu, and he ended up in the hospital. He had pneumonia, and the pneumonia was so bad that he had to go on a ventilator, and he almost died. He survived, but he had a lot of problems afterwards. His kidneys and his liver were failing. His kidneys did bounce back, but his liver did not. So they did some more testing, and they found out that he had liver cancer and he needed a liver transplant. I'm going to take a smaller brush now. I just went into this next one. Now we're going to go into this deeper, darker one. And the brush that I'm going to use is a 13 Max. So we're just deepening things up a little bit. So to get a transplant of any kind, it is a very rigorous process, and there's always the chance that before your loved one gets the transplant, they will die. And so we were on the list for over a year, and my husband was incredibly ill, but he got the call. And April 22nd of 2019, he had a liver transplant. He did very well. And so that was 4.5 years ago. Because he had liver cancer, and liver cancer is not a good diagnosis at all, he has had to have scans every few months. And this past scan that he had in October revealed a malignant lymph node above his heart. between his heart and the breastbone, basically. There's a lymph node in there, and it was positive. So we had testing, biopsies done, that whole thing at Moffitt Cancer Center, and it was determined that after 4.5 years, that liver cancer came back. And that's where we are right now. He's going to be having some radiation treatments. He starts next Tuesday having his radiation treatments. And then he'll be very closely evaluated every 2 or 3 months to see if any other spots come up. And I've worked in the medical field for 36 years, worked in the emergency room, worked in a skin cancer center, OBGYN, and between my husband's medical problems and mine, which we haven't even gotten into, the medical field was just not for me anymore. I needed a break from it. I was working in the medical field. I was dealing with my husband's health problems. So we're going to use these 2 shimmers right here. I'm going to use my finger to put these on. And so as a hobby, a few years ago, I started learning how to do dog grooming. I've always been an animal lover. I worked in wildlife rehab, and I worked in the nursery, feeding and taking care of little baby squirrels, raccoons, possums, birds, and I love animals. So a friend of mine taught me how to do dog grooming. So right now I'm just working a couple of days a week with her doing dog grooming. So talk about a change in careers. So I'm doing this as a hobby. This is an outlet for me. It's an artistic outlet. It's fun. I love to talk about makeup, and I love to share my little makeup tips. So about a year ago, my cousin said, you know what, you should go on YouTube. And that's what I did. So this is something I do for fun. This is a hobby for me, and I hope you enjoy it. I might not be posting as much as I normally would, just because my husband is having treatments. So I just wanted to let you know in advance if I don't post as often as I was. That's why. So look at this look. This is so beautiful. This is my perfect look. This is my dream look right here. So I'm going to keep this over here because we're going to use another eyeliner, and then I'm going to use the shadow to go over it. This is the Rare Beauty eyeliner in the shade Compassion. And in my opinion, this is the perfect eyeliner for the upper eyelid because it's creamy. It glides on easily. The one thing that I want to make sure that I stress about this is that this is the only eyeliner that I know of that twists up but does not twist back down. So if you like to twist a lot of eyeliner up, just beware, you won't be able to get it back down if you get this product. So you can see the difference the eyeliner makes in a dark, sultry look like this. And I'm doing a little bit of a thicker line today. I'm just in the mood for that. And I feel like this eyeliner matches the whole vibe I'm going for perfectly today. So we've got that on. And one thing that I love to do after I do this is take a shadow from the palette. Let's just go back to this one. So I have an angle brush here. Looks like that. I'm going to dip into this with my angle brush. And we're going to go over and set this liner. I feel like this makes the liner last. It certainly gives that smudged effect that I personally like with eyeliners. And it just brings the look together, in my opinion. Next, I'm going to take a very small brush. I am going to go into the medium brownie rose beige color. And I'm going to put it under my eye right here. And do you see how different that looks? Yeah, I like that. So we're done with our eyeshadow look now. We're going to put some mascara on, and I have a new mascara that I have been trying. This is the L'Oreal Panoramic Mascara. This is getting its little moment on social media right now. I have really good success with L'Oreal mascara, so that's why I bought it. It is just a regular black shade, has a tapered wand like this with stiffer bristles. What I like about this particular mascara is that I feel like it gives a fanned out effect. So if you like a fluffy, fanned out brow, I feel like you'll like this one. It lengthens my lashes. I have decent lashes, so I have a good starting place with mascaras. So I'm going to finish my mascara off camera and come back and we'll do setting spray and the finished look. The last thing that I like to do in my makeup routine is take my setting spray and get a really good coat on. And then bounce all over my face. I feel like it picks up any extra product. I feel like it also blends in so that there's no lines. I prefer to do this before I put my mascara on, but I keep forgetting because some mascaras do smear, but this one didn't. So this is my finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Stay tuned because next video is going to be my totally geeking out over makeup Haus Labs spotlight. It's a brand spotlight, and I did one on the Give Beauty and it was so much fun. So I've got all the research. I've just got to put everything together in an outline for you guys. And so we'll go over the history of Haus Labs, some interesting facts, and we'll put a whole face of Haus Labs on. So hope you enjoy that. All right, have a good day. Bye-bye.